Welcome back to Empower Her podcast. My name is Ambassador Dr. Aruna Varsani. Today we have a special guest, and it's time to talk about different cultures, different countries, what they're practicing, how they're managing it, to understand the youth need, to understand the youth understanding, how far they understand. Benny, welcome to my podcast
Thank you
called
so
Empower
much.
Her podcast. Please introduce yourself to our guest.
Thank you so much for this. It's our pleasure to be here, first off. My name is Benita Tebuka. I'm a Rwandan international student in Mount Kenya University. It's really amazing to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us and bringing the knowledge from where you come from and extending the education to our audience. So, because I educate for menstrual health, my first question will be, how was menstrual education was introduced to you?
Mostly, from what I can remember, going back in time, it was kind of a surprise for me because, I was expecting it sometime in my life. One day this will happen, but I still didn't see it coming. Like, I wasn't expecting to happen in the moment when it happened. But, well, our parents do talk to us about it, but just not it's not as open. It's not a very open kind of communication among us. We don't really have so much, we didn't have much information about it. But with time, I think it's getting easier.
It's getting easier.
Yeah, it's kind of
So
getting
you
easier.
see more table conversation or dinner table conversation happening between the families.
Well, not really that way, as in dinner table conversations, not very much. We still, it's a work in progress. But from how far we've come, I think it's getting better. Maybe on a slower rate, but it's still getting better every day.
Okay. So do you remember your first conversation was given by your mom or your teacher? Who introduced you and how was the introduction to menstrual cycle?
Well, mostly it's my mom.
Okay.
Because it's kind of considered that parents, preferably a mother,
Yeah.
or maybe aunties, just women in the family or even outside the family, they are more preferred to give us this talk because they probably understand it much, much better than men would.
And how was it done? What was the introduction? Like, what was the explanation?
Well, the explanation was something like, see, now with time, you'll probably have a stomach ache and if there's something, you'll just, okay, it was so vague. It was kind of vague. They didn't really tell you straight to the point, this is what is going to happen. You'll have a stomach ache or you'll see things, you'll feel like vomiting or you'll just, all those symptoms were kind of too vague. They just told you, you have to be more careful. You can't do this because you'll probably get pregnant. Like, the light was much out on the pregnancy than the menstruation.
So you felt more sensitivity they felt towards the pregnancy, that now it's you have to be more careful. Now I have to constantly educate my daughter about this than the menstruation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of how it was.
And how many siblings you are in a family?
We are 5. I'm the middle one, 2 sisters, 2 brothers.
Okay. Does your brothers know about menstrual cycle?
They know, they do know.
So you can openly talk to your brother.
Not as much, but yeah, we could. Barely comes up, but I'm sure they would talk about it.
Yeah. But what I wanted to understand is, in case you are in a need of sanitary towels, you'll be able to talk to your brother and say, please get me this specific company pad. I need it because I'm in my period.
Yeah.
Will you be able to have that conversation with your brother?
Back in the time, no, I wouldn't. That would have been so hard and probably almost impossible. But now, with how time it has gone and how much we've gotten close and with how much everything has changed, it's become easier. I could actually do that and they can be happy to help.
Okay. But let's go back to a little bit culture practice. What are the myths and beliefs around menstruation, especially where you come from, Rwanda? I like to understand because we talk about a lot about Kenya, but let's deep dive more. What are the myths? What are the beliefs? What are the practices are done back in Rwanda?
Well, in Rwanda, people are too shy to talk about it.
Okay.
They used to be too shy. The myth is like, if you're having your menses or you're on your periods, you cannot be in public places. You probably can't go to church or something. They used to say such things. You cannot do some activities, let's say like games, probably not allowed. Like you're supposed to be in the house somewhere, staying indoors, not going outside or having conversation with whoever. You just have to stay inside until the whole period passes and then you are free to go out again. That's kind of how it's seen.
But then, was she allowed to cook in the house? Was she allowed to, because woman does everything. Like
Yeah.
they do shopping for the house, grocery shopping. Even if the child is sick, woman is the first one who takes the child to the doctor. So were these all allowed to do, or they were been still told stay back?
Well, they were allowed to do because no one knew you are having the periods. Like no one knows. It's you. It's only you who know. So you still carry on with your life and try as much as possible to keep it to yourself.
So you're not able to express even if you are
No.
in that pain, and you're not able to participate in those activities. You will not ask for help.
You'll not ask for help because you'll probably feel too shy or so judged or misinterpreted. Like there's just so much that could happen. Although now with time, it's better. It's really better.
Yeah.
But since back then, you wouldn't
But
have said.
what I understand is also still in some family, I'll put it, who has no opportunity to educate themselves. Do you think they must be still practicing same?
They could in some very rural areas in
Yes.
Rwanda,
Yes.
where maybe most of the knowledge or the things that are needed for a girl to actually do things that they're supposed to do, let's say like materials that are needed for a girl going through menstrual period, if they can't really access it or maybe they're not going to school, it's kind of hard to get that mentality off. But Rwanda is doing well in terms of education. There's a lot of integration and a lot of movement forwards in terms of education. It's not yet at its best, but it's getting better. There's education for girls and boys. So I would say from how it used to be and how it is now, it should be easier. It's easier.
Okay. And then do they involve also, because Rwanda, as you said, Rwanda is educating more, putting more investment into the education. In the rural area, is this education reaching? Do you think they're privileged to have this education?
Not really. It's
Not really.
kind of indirect. Okay,
Okay.
it's there, but not really there. You can say they have no idea. They have an idea, but it's just not really
And the pads
That's
are
serious.
available in Rwanda?
pads. Yeah, they are. They're available. There's just different brands, and prices are kind of almost the same as Kenyan price.
So there is no free pad.
Well,
You still have to buy.
You have to buy, yeah. Okay, there are some organizations that prefer to donate some. Okay, there's no consistency, but they try. They try to give out a few times in some schools.
Yeah. So what is your observation between two countries now? Because you have mostly also stayed in Kenya.
Yeah.
So what do you see where we need to improve?
In terms of like Kenya improving or Rwanda improving?
Both. Especially, what is the comparison between both countries now, Kenya and Rwanda?
I think they are still developing countries and they really are trying in terms of menstrual education because girls keep doing better each and every day.
Yeah.
So they are actually doing the most in terms of donating pads, donating materials that could help girls get out more and talk about their feelings more. Yeah, they are doing better comparing to the past times where people are too shy and feeling too judged or left out in all this conversation. It's amazing.
Yeah. But do you understand that the awareness practices have been done in both countries? They're enough done, or we need to still do more awareness? What kind of campaign we should run it as a country, as a Kenya?
Well, campaigns are impacting more. I feel like it's amazing what you're doing.
Yeah. But
Spe-
when I'm talking about Kenya, like I only go and educate the girls about menstrual health and have a conversation according to the practices done on the area I go to. But when you talk about the whole in a country, what other method we should adopt it to make sure that this information, these educations are reaching to the grassroots level? You know, I and you are privileged to have access to the internet, to access to the gynecologists, and I will say lucky to have enough knowledge, but there is that girl still waiting for those education.
It's more of, I would say, more of community outreach,
Okay.
like physically going there, because some of these people who can't access social media or maybe internet, they would really use some knowledge, because honestly, knowledge is just power, too much power, and they
Yeah.
don't access it.
But let me take you back a little bit into the you've done your primary school in Rwanda or here in Kenya?
I did it in Rwanda.
In Rwanda. Here at grade 6, they come to learn about reproductive system. In Rwanda, at what grade you learn in a curriculum space?
Still grade 6.
Still grade 6.
Also 5 though. But it's kind of top, like not really that deep.
Not in depth. So they make you study the topic, but just like any other topic.
Yeah, you just go over. It's
Just
not-
go over. Nobody takes you deep dive in it.
No, not really.
But in Kenya, the average girl receiving period in first period cycle is about 8 years old now. I'm not talking about past now. That girl who is still in grade 5. And if this education is coming at grade 6, who will educate that girl who will start, she will start her first period at grade 5? If you're not talking at the home level, you're not talking at a friend circle, because they're all so vulnerable, they don't know what's happening, and then you're waiting for curriculum to teach you, but curriculum is coming at after 1 year.
Oh. Clearly, everyone needs to just do better than they're doing, because the girl is still affected, because they are getting the periods earlier in age, and maybe the parents are not even able to get them to know the knowledge earlier enough. So I think it's more of a responsibility that should be taken by the whole community, not just parents, teachers.
Yeah, but do you think bringing or changing the curriculum setup to the earlier grade will help our girls?
I think it would. It would. Not just girls, even boys. Everyone should be knowing these things as they grow up, because it's a knowledge that's just needed by everyone. It's not just for girls. Even men need to know this.
So tell me something more about in your friend circle when you go back. I'm sure you have some relatives and you still go back. You must have adopted some of the knowledge from Kenya also, because now you're international student here, so your network is also you are interacting with the different countries.
Yeah.
When you share something back, a specific area we can talk about menstrual health or sexual health or mental health. How is your family receiving it also? There is a constructive conversation happens or not yet?
There's constructive conversation happening, because they are becoming open to new ideas. They're becoming open to what the world is bringing now. They're receiving more. They're learning more. Like, it's actually great to impact some knowledge into them, because they're open to receiving.
Yeah. And have you ever got chance to see the policy what exists in Rwanda
The policy about?
around menstrual health?
Not really. I haven't been to that much, because most of my life is just around in Kenya, around here.
In Kenya mostly.
Yeah, mostly.
And you
around
got
here.
to know about policy in Kenya?
Not much. Not
Not much.
really.
So even that
much.
knowledge is still not adequate. It's not available like at first hand, right? Until you have been brought your attention to it, that you need to know what are the policy around this. Like recently, Nairobi has adopted a policy that they'll get menstrual leave for 2 days.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, because it's very important. You know, there's that girl who goes through a lot of pain and a lot of flow. She'll not perform, even if she is at a workplace or anywhere. It's better to give her a space to
Walk through
to
the feelings,
heal
yeah.
and to manage her menses well, her emotion wells, and then come back to the work
Environment,
where
yeah,
she
to the
can
world.
perform better, right? Do you have something similar in Rwanda also? There is a menstrual leave or anything like that?
Not really, but there's
Not.
this menstrual day held, but it's kind of on the world thing. So World Day.
So basically, it's a
There
menstrual
isn't.
international menstrual day, which everybody celebrates,
Hmm.
and they do something to bring the message out, to educate about menstruation or bring the challenges what the community is facing.
Okay, in Rwanda, I think they're actually doing that, but they just don't have a very specific day the way the policy Kenyan is.
Yeah.
They don't have that yet, from my knowledge. But they have these communities that help girls, that reach out to communities and arrange activities for girls to talk more about these things.
So your first time when you receive your menses, you actually got to use single-use pad.
Yeah.
Okay. You had enough knowledge about how to use it and how long you should wear it, how to dispose it.
Yeah, I had the knowledge, but mostly from the education knowledge,
Again.
like the school education knowledge. That's where most of the knowledge I had was from, more than a home or an environment with family and friends, because it was kind of still not really talked about that much. Yes,
So
more
that's not the conversation again happens.
yeah, well.
So let's come back to Kenya again then, because now you interact with the students who are from Kenya, and Kenya being also a place where there is a lot of cultures been adopted means there is a culture-based tribe a lot. Do you interact and have any opportunity about menstrual, how they are managing it if they don't have education?
Well, I understand that there's so many tribes in this
In
country.
Kenya, yeah.
There's so many tribes here.
Yeah.
And some of them don't really access the knowledge, but that's why you have school communities that do outreaching programs. Then we go and educate them more on the subject. We go to different schools, different societies, and they educate them. I think that has been of help so far.
Okay, refresh the memory when first time you have been introduced to reproductive system.
That was like so many years ago.
So many years ago, right?
So many years ago, yeah.
And why I'm asking you this question, because I want to understand that if you don't refresh that memory over the time, see what happens right now. You got like, I can't recall everything.
Yeah.
But what you can recall is you have been taught.
Yeah, I've been taught.
But believe me, that if you had a multiple education past over the years, you'll never forget. You'll be
That's
like
true.
very quick to talk about it and say,
Yeah.
okay, this is what I've been taught. But can you recall how it was taught to you when they show you the uterus and the function of uterus?
Well, like I said, it used to be so vague. Like it's just
In the school.
taught. Yeah.
Yeah. But what was, how narrow was it? How was taught you? What exactly the explanation was?
Okay, the explanation was like they give you several books, textbooks, and there's a picture there.
Yeah.
And then there's named parts, and every part has its function. Now you read the part and you read the function. Not necessarily that you understand what the part is doing or the function is. It was more of an education you just have to learn. Nothing too deep. Like you don't even expect this to ever happen in your life or you'll ever use the knowledge, because it's not like they're telling you that you'll ever use the knowledge. They're just giving you a picture. This will probably happen once. It happens to ladies between this age to this age. And then you're just sitting there waiting. Maybe one day it will happen. But you don't even know if it will happen. And when it happens, you don't even know who you're going to talk to. That's kind of weird.
So it was very, very haphazard given information or education. I'll put it now direct because it's under the roof of school. What do you think we need to do to fix that gap?
There should be really constant communication among parents, students, and even teachers and even other people
So
in the community.
sensitization across
Yeah.
all the people given male, female, or any age
Yeah, the
bracket.
community.
Right? Now I come back to the what can we learn from another
From one another.
country? What should we adopt? Like now you're an international student. I'm sure you're interacting with so many other students, and you might have come across some of the practices they're adopting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just said it, Kenya adopted 2 days at least menstrual leave. What should we adopt from other countries?
As Kenyans adopting from Rwanda, or I can
From international, I'll
From,
say
like,
from continent, any other continent.
any
yeah.
other continent. Yeah. Well, I would say maybe menstrual hygiene, like learning how to actually dispose the materials that are used after the menses. I think it's a good knowledge because mostly you find things thrown everywhere, and it just doesn't look so good because, well, it's like there's so much value in knowing that it shouldn't be disposed just carelessly. Maybe more knowledge on how to dispose and being hygienic when you are on your menses, knowing how many hours should be taking while using a pad or a reusable one, how long, how to wash it, how to do these things. Like the hygienic part of using pads, I feel like people are just told you should use this, and they're just not told for how long or the duration or the side effects of misusing or even the diseases that come afterwards, infections. Yes, I feel like they should go deeper on the hygienic part.
Hygienic part of
Yeah.
menses.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think also involving a man or a boy child will also help to fix the gap?
Yeah, they should be involved. They should be involved.
Any incident you come across where you experienced that, I wish the boy child knew this one, so I would have easily approached to either call for me a gynecologist or look for me the pad I require, or to understand that I need my space because I can't emotionally understand what's happening, because when it comes to the period, you do get different emotions.
Yeah. Maybe allowing men or even other people in the society to know that they should allow female to feel how they want to feel because it's usually valid. And as much as it can't happen to them, well, there's no easier way to say it, but it's really valid. And whatever they feel is actually there.
Yeah. So what I understood on my 13 years journey, you not everything by book you learn, as you said earlier. These are the practical things are happening with us, and when I go to the ground, they talk about their practical experiences, that what they are feeling, what they are missing, what exactly they want to do. And I realized that they even don't know, especially a boy child, because boy child is always been told, stay strong. You're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to express. You're not allowed to also talk in menstrual space to the girl. Mm-hmm. They themselves, they don't know also that they do go through once a month a hormonal change, the way I and you go through.
Yeah.
We call it period.
Yeah.
They call what?
So
Nothing.
they have
Because
nothing.
there's nothing. I did not know until I get into the system and start learning about it, you see. So if we need a space when we are in our menses, you say, okay, boy, or a dad or a husband or a boyfriend, anything, give me my space, please. I need 2 hours, 3 hours to at least come back to my sense. Boy, we don't see them talking. They don't talk about it. They're humans.
Yeah, they are. They should be heard too.
Yeah. If I'm allowed to cry, so do they.
Yeah, they should be allowed to.
If I'm allowed to ask for help, so do they also. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about menstrual cycle or reproductive health, it comes from both sides.
Yeah.
Because the hormonally change, the maturity in a physical body comes both sides.
Yeah, sure.
Right? So this is the conversation not only ties up with the menstrual health, it ties up with the mental health and sexual health and also reproductive health.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the
Totally.
three areas I see we should be constantly watching out when we're talking about any of this topic.
Yeah. It concerns everyone, and it's really wide, and everyone should actually be feeling free to talk about how they feel without making them feel diminished or made small. Yeah, every feelings of everyone should be valid.
So coming back to the knowledge, I only want to run you through some of the question or knowledge, and you tell me if you agree or you don't agree. Do you agree that the hormonal change do come to the boy and to the girl also?
Yeah,
You agree?
I
Do
totally
you
agree.
agree that boys want to help when girls are in a menstrual cycle, but we are the one who is blocking them away? We tell them it's nothing to do with you, it's my thing.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
So do you agree when we talk about taboo or breaking the silence, a woman should be the first one?
Well, not really. A woman doesn't have to be the first one. Okay, as much as women are so complicated to deal with, maybe they should be the first one, but also men should put in some effort, equivalent effort.
But from the years we are telling men this is your boundary, okay? And now even if men wants to come,
Yeah, we
are
push
we
them
making
away.
that effort to open up that boundary?
Oh, well, that's something we should try harder than we are because we tend to need their help, but we're also not allowing them to help us. So it's something we really need to work on as women.
As a
all of
woman,
us, yeah.
you agree with me, right?
I totally agree.
Do you agree that the period which lasts more than 7 days is a condition?
Yeah, it should be a condition.
Yeah. And do you also agree with me that specific when your period starts smelling, it's not a period smell? If hygiene looked into it, then it's also a conditional smell. You must go and visit doctor.
Yeah, you should.
You agree, right? So today our podcast where the listeners are going to be an international student also. And what is your message to our audience?
Well, I would like to let you all know that honestly, silence never helps. Just open up, talk about your feelings. Whoever you feel like you can trust and they have ears for you, however much they can listen to, just talk to someone. Don't have all these feelings bottled up within you. And also to males and females, or mostly males, you can help. You can help. It's not shunned up to not help. You can really help. And as females, we going to actually try and learn how to receive help and even ask for it. But it's a nice generation that we have here, and I think things will get better because they've been getting better over time.
Thank you, Benny, for inspiring us. That brings a challenge to each of you out there. That are you having enough conversation? Are you fully aware that any country will require this education? It's not only in Kenya. We talk about India. We talk about Rwanda now. We partially talk about different counties also in Kenya. It's normal to have a conversation. Talk about it. Express yourself. Deal with the challenge together, not alone. Don't corner yourself. Please give us your comment about what your countries are practices. What are the challenges you are facing so we can bring out to our next podcast channel. And we make sure that we bring our voices out there. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for watching us. See you next time.